people are arguing now that we're in a real estate bubble. What are your thoughts on this?
I vociferously disagree. Who the hell says that?
Everyone on Twitter.
That's so dumb. There's a lot of dumb on Twitter.
So you're saying that sales and everything, they're still continuing to trend up?
You mean a real estate bubble like it's high, it's going to crash?
Yes.
I mean, that's the opposite. We've been coming down. Prices have been coming down and volume's been coming down since late 2021, early 2022. We've had some of the 3 years in real estate. I've had some tough years. I mean, it's all relative, but no. The last 3 years have been really tough because interest rates have been high. Volume is at a historic low. When I say historic low, I mean 50, 60 years since volume's been this low. So very, very historic in terms of the decrease in volume. Prices have come down. I mean, I don't want to speak, I'm not an expert nationally, but nationally prices are not in a bubble. Big cities post-COVID have had a difficult time. LA, New York. Some cities in like Miami and Austin and Las Vegas and Scottsdale and the big kind of, I mean, it's not a political thing, but the big cities in the Democratic states have done terribly, and kind of the more red cities, so to speak, like Miami, that that's in a red state, they have a kind of pretty moderate governance, have done a lot better because they're low taxation, tough on crime. And a lot of people left the big cities during COVID and went to those kind of tertiary areas, like in Texas, Miami.
Do you think that's
and here too?
Do you think that's due to policy, or do you think that's just due to the nature of a big city being already dense housing?
No, it's due to policy. It's due to policy.
So what big cities?
So the big cities that had the most draconian COVID policies. I'll use Los Angeles as an example because I live there. They had arguably the most kind of draconian and tough policies in the country. They were the last place in the LAUSD was the last school district in the United States to open back up. We restricted our economy so significantly, and we let out so many people from jails that a lot of people left. That started it. That started the frustration. Then homelessness kind of blew up. COVID caused tremendous homelessness in Los Angeles. And there's no restrictions on that. It's not really enforced. So it was a pretty difficult couple of years in LA. We've turned the corner. We're getting a little bit better. But it definitely is policies. I'm not generally political. I consider myself pretty centrist, but I feel like I call a spade a spade. I've been a Democrat most of my life. I'm really independent now. But the truth is, Democratic policies have been extremely difficult for large cities. The mansion tax is another one. I mean, the mansion tax.
Explain that for people unfamiliar with that.
So Los Angeles put a tax. And by the way, I can totally see how that tax passed. It's a mansion tax on wealthy people, charging 6% on any sale over 10 million or 5% on any sale over 5 million. It sounds good. A few years ago, I would have voted for it, right? Because I didn't, ostensibly, it's like, oh, taxing the rich, helping the homeless. Great. I mean, who's not going to vote for that? The problem is that it creates so much friction. Now we have sales down about 70% above 5 million. So it's decimated the sales volume, which restricts property taxes. UCLA just came out with a study, basically coming out. And by the way, UCLA public policy is one of the most liberal. They actually argued for the mansion tax. And then they had to come out and say, listen, we were wrong, essentially. The mansion tax has been terrible
Explain
for
the
the
mansion
economy.
tax. What exactly is that?
Sorry. So anytime a property sells, let's say you own a property, let's say you buy a property for $5 million and you sell it for $5.5 million, a few years later. You have to pay 5% of that to the city. So that's, $275,000 or something like that.
On the entire amount, regardless of whether or not you make a profit. So you could buy it $5 million, hold it a few years, and sell it for $5 million.
Well,
sell it for $5 million and still have to pay the tax.
What's actually happening is, people bought a house for, let's say, $6.5 million 3-4 years ago. It's worth $6 today. Perfect example. I had a client buy a house for $7.2 million, sold it for $6.5. He lost $700,000, then had to pay the city $300, and then commission. So he lost like $1 million too. He'll never buy. He doesn't want to buy in LA again. He wants to move out. So the mansion tax was very difficult. Another study. I don't want to get into too much into studies about the mansion tax, but it's costing the city and the state in terms of taxation from the economic loss, from property tax values not resetting, about $2 to $3 for every dollar that it raises. It also has only raised 20% as much as it promised. It's been an absolute failure.
So why do they not just reverse it then?
Well, it may or may not be on the ballot. There have been a lot of lawsuits. The courts rejected it. It was on the ballot last year. The Supreme Court kicked it off the ballot. It's also really hard to put a ballot initiative on saying, let's repeal a mansion tax. When's the last time a liberal city voted to remove a tax? I don't know if it's ever happened in any city. It's not going to happen in LA. Once a tax is in place, it's really, really, really hard to remove.
What do you think are the best opportunities going forward right now? In terms of the market, investment, real estate?
So I was buying real estate every year, but mostly I was buying real estate because interest rates were so low. And now that's gone. So I'm not really buying real estate right now. So I don't know if I'm going to sit here and just recommend, buying real estate as an investment. I mean, I think it's a fine investment in the long term. It's going to go up 5, 8, 7% a year. Truthfully, though, I think the market right now is probably going to go up 5 to 10% a year for the next few years. And
that seems pretty
you don't
good,
have to
though.
deal with tenants, and maintenance. So I think I'm probably going to leave my money in the stock market and put my money in 30-year treasuries and just hang right there for a little while until I see another opportunity. I will say, if you are glutton for punishment, you should go buy multifamily in San Francisco or Los Angeles because it's so low right now. You go spend $5 million in multifamily right now, and you're intelligently buying. That'll be worth $7 million probably in 3 years.
Real quick, how many times have you actually panicked because you could not find your wallet? I'm talking full stop, heart drop, where it's complete panic, because I have way too many times, and now there's a wallet that just shows up in your Find My app. Me telling you that it's been a game changer is a complete understatement, because I cannot tell you how many times I've lost my wallet. But with MagBack, I just open Apple's Find My app to play a sound if it's nearby, or just see it on a map.
That's why we're so excited to partner with MagBack. Honestly, we've been waiting to talk about this because they make a smart wallet, and it's one of those products where once you see how it works, you'll just immediately want it.
It carries up to 9 cards while still looking sleek, plus they're made of genuine top-grain leather that gets softer and develops more character the more you carry it.
It also doubles as a phone stand, and it's compatible with QI wireless chargers, so you don't sacrifice your MagSafe capabilities.
In addition to wallets, MagBack offers minimalistic phone cases, multi-chargers, wireless chargers, Tesla chargers, and rim cases and key tags. Funny enough, one of my favorite products is the Tesla-compatible charger. I have it in my Tesla. I absolutely love it. If you have a Tesla, I highly recommend it.
And you could get 15% off of any of these products using the code iced15 when you go to creators.magback.com/theicedcoffeehour. The link is also down below in the description.
Once again, that is code iced15 for 15% off at creators.magback.com/icedcoffeehour. Link down below in the description.